My name is Nadia. I'm 32, married, and still bleeding from the miscarriage I had 6 months ago. I met Darren in the last semester of college, right before my world started to make sense. He was older, grounded, the kind of man who didn't just enter a room, he settled it. We weren't a whirlwind romance. We were steady, secure. He made me feel like I didn't have to fight so hard to be chosen. We got married 2 years later in a quiet courthouse ceremony and moved into a modest apartment with peeling walls and dreams we couldn't yet afford. But I didn't care. I loved him. He loved me. And when I found out I was pregnant, it felt like the universe had finally given me permission to breathe. We danced in the living room to no music. He kissed my stomach every morning before work. I started knitting, even though I was terrible at it, just because it made it real. Then I started spotting. I told myself it was stress. I kept working. I kept smiling. I kept pretending. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. The day the cramps started, Darren wasn't home. He was at a client dinner he couldn't cancel, and I was too proud to ask him to come home. I lost the baby alone. When he walked in and saw me curled on the bathroom floor, blood everywhere, eyes vacant, I saw something in his face that scared me more than the miscarriage itself. He looked helpless, and I think he hated me for it. We never recovered. Not really. The months that followed were a blur of blame passed like a hot potato. Therapy appointments missed. Silent dinners. My birthday forgotten. I thought I could survive it. But grief has a way of turning love into poison. And just when I thought I was finally putting myself back together, starting to sleep again, smile again, eat without guilt, I found something that shattered the little healing I had managed to stitch together. I found the journal, and my name inside it. Last weekend, I went to help my best friend Zoe pack up her apartment. She was finally moving in with her fiancé. We've been best friends since we were 13. The kind of friendship where sleepovers turned into shared dreams, and teenage heartbreaks were survived over tubs of ice cream and playlists we swore were sacred. Zoe was my constant, my mirror, the loud to my quiet. She'd always been unlucky in love, the kind of girl who gave too much and got too little. I still remember her last breakup. Jason, the narcissist. He cheated on her with a coworker and gaslit her so badly she started apologizing for things she hadn't done. I was there through all of it, through the tears, the panic attacks, and the therapy. I sat on her bathroom floor while she cried and told her she deserved more. So when she met Elijah, calm, intentional, stable Elijah, I was relieved. He wasn't flashy, but he looked at her like she was the only thing in the room. He listened. He showed up. He didn't try to fix her. He stayed while she healed herself. I was genuinely happy for her. I really was. And when I lost the baby, Zoe was the only one who didn't flinch around my grief. She came over uninvited, sat in silence when I couldn't talk, refilled my tea even when I didn't drink it. She was the one who reminded me to shower, to eat, to breathe. She held me when Darren couldn't. So when she told me she was too swamped at work to pack and asked if I could help get her apartment in order before the movers came, it was the easiest yes I'd said in months. I owed her. And honestly, I wanted to be useful again, to feel normal. So I showed up early Saturday morning with coffee in hand, wearing sweatpants and a hoodie, determined to sort through years of shared memories and dust bunnies. I packed her books first. The poetry ones she never actually read but liked having on her shelf. Then her framed photos. The one of us at prom, the one of her and Elijah in Montauk, blurry but glowing. I bubble-wrapped them carefully, like they mattered. And then I opened the bottom drawer of her nightstand. Inside was a black leather journal, thick, heavy, unlabeled, except for 4 words engraved in gold on the front, secrets to die for. I smiled at first, thought it was a dramatic little notebook she used for doodling or song lyrics. But when I opened it, the air changed. The handwriting was sharp, focused, calculated. On the first page, people who don't deserve what they have. Then a list of names. Some I didn't recognize. Some I did. Then I saw mine. My name. Circled. Next to it, a date. 6 months ago. The day I lost my baby. And that was when I knew something was terribly, irreversibly wrong. The first page was a list. A bullet-pointed manifesto titled, "People Who Need to Be Put in Their Place." My stomach turned. Zoe had always been intense, but this wasn't just venting. Then I saw it. My name. Nadia, September 22nd. Circled in red ink, with 3 exclamation points. September 22nd was the day I lost my baby. My hands trembled as I turned the pages. Everyone was filled with venom. Smear strategies, lies, plans. Each entry targeted someone from our circle, but mine was the longest. She plays the victim so well. Needs to be knocked off her pedestal. Everyone thinks she's perfect. Wait till they find out about her. There were crude sketches of me, exaggerated and grotesque, one with me crying, another with a red X over my womb. I couldn't breathe. Then, at the bottom of the page, written in all caps, Phase 2. Make her think it was her husband's fault. My mind reeled. I'd spent months drowning in guilt, wondering if I'd done something wrong. But there were little things I'd buried that now began to claw their way to the surface. Like the night before the miscarriage, when Zoe brought over wine and insisted we talk, even though I'd been exhausted. Or how she kept saying things like, "David's always working late. That kind of stress isn't good for you." Or how, after the miscarriage, she gently suggested that maybe my body was reacting to the emotional neglect. I never told Zoe that David and I had argued that week, but somehow, she knew. She fed me grief disguised as comfort. She looked me in the eye while helping me plan a memorial for a child I never got to hold, while plotting to make me believe my husband killed our baby. I didn't confront her that day. I finished the boxes, plastered on a smile, and went home with the journal in my tote bag. For 3 nights, I didn't sleep. I read every page, studied her handwriting, noticed how she always referred to me in the past tense. Once she breaks, she'll disappear. She wanted to erase me, to make me implode. I started noticing things I hadn't before, how she'd take photos of me when I cried, how she always made sure people knew I was so strong considering everything, how she loved telling the story of the miscarriage, even when I didn't want to. David found me on the floor of the bathroom, the journal open beside me. I hadn't meant for him to see it, but I was done hiding. He read every word. His face went pale. "She said you confided in her," I whispered. "Did you?" He nodded slowly. "I told her about the fight. I thought she could help you. Help us. She said she'd been through something similar." I felt sick. She used our pain as fuel. David wrapped his arms around me and said something I didn't expect. "She always hated how much I loved you." I looked up. I thought she was just protective, but maybe she wanted me broken too. I wanted to burn the journal, bury it, pretend it never existed. But then I saw it, a final line at the back of the book. Phase 3. Frame her for her own breakdown. It wasn't over. She was going to come for me again. She already planted seeds, told people I hadn't been the same, that I wasn't sleeping, that David and I were figuring things out. I took screenshots, photographed every page, sent copies to my lawyer, my therapist, and my mother. Then I waited. Zoe texted me 3 days later. Zoe. Hey babe, need help picking out the brunch menu, you free? I didn't reply. She called. Twice. Left a voicemail pretending nothing was wrong. Then, the message that showed her mask slipping. Zoe. Did you take something from my office? That journal is private. It's just fiction, a creative outlet. Don't be dramatic. I sent her one sentence. You wrote, make her think it was her husband's fault. She blocked me. That would have been the end, except she didn't stop. Anonymous posts appeared online, comments on my social media calling me unstable, obsessive, grieving wrong. She even tried to flirt with David, sent him an old picture of them hugging, with the message, remember when we were real? She was still executing phase 3. But now I'm fighting back. She built a burn book. I'm building the truth. And the last page of my own journal? Phase 4. Let everyone know who she really is.